Alright guys, so I just got off work. I just got to the shop. About to go inside and start working on the Miata. So get inside here. What up? I locked it. Alright, so back in the shop. So the goal of this video, I guess, is to get the hole notched in the transmission, get the flywheel, the clutch mounted in the car, get the mounting bracket for the transmission mounted, and get the 2 mounting plates mounted inside the car. And anything else?
No, we just gotta get it done.
Yeah, just gotta get it done. Alright, let's get working on it. Alright, so if you're planning on doing the GETRAG swap in the Miata, you have to get rid of your power plant frame because it does not work with the E30 transmission, which goes from the stock Miata transmission back to the diff. So since you can no longer use the power plant frame to mount the transmission, Miata supplies this transmission bracket and 2 mounting plates. In order to mount this in the car though, you have to drill 4 holes on each side of the transmission tunnel. And in order to drill those holes in the right spots, I tried to record this previously, but it was too dark. I might throw it in if it's not too bad, just so you can get an idea of the transmission in the car. And then this would mount up here like this, right? Yeah, something like that. So you'd have the transmission in the car, you'd mount this to the transmission, you would mark each hole on each side of the mounting bracket, and you would drill each hole. And then you'd go in the car.
Alright, so once you drill the holes for the transmission brace, get up in the car, and this is the inside view. The driver's side is going to have the bend in it, little hole. You're going to want to cut the carpet underneath the center console. Makes it a lot easier so you don't have to pull the dash out. Alright, driver's side has a hole. Same with the passenger side, except no hole, nice and flat. And going from top to bottom, that's what it's going to look like underneath.
So the driver's side is going to have a little fold right here on the mounting plate. And this is what the passenger side should look like after you drill the holes and mount the plate with the bolts.
Alright, so the E30 tranny has the starter on the opposite side, so on the adapter plate for the Miata. Got to cut this side out. Kind of just eyeball like we do everything here. You're going to want to outline that with a Sharpie and just start cutting. And when you're done, it's going to look a little something like that. And if it doesn't fit the first time, make it fit the second time.
Alright, so if you're doing this swap, you're most likely going to run into this problem. One, this hole right here is threaded, and Miata suggests drilling it out to fit this bolt in here. And you might have to put a washer in here because this might hit the transmission back here. I don't know if you can see that or not. 2, there is one bolt with a smaller head on it than the other 2.
Than this one?
Yeah, so it's smaller than this one. You can't really tell on video, but it is smaller. And some Miata starters only require 2 bolts, not 3. So, for instance, this one, you cannot get a bolt in here.
And as per Miata,
yeah,
2 is enough.
Miata says 2 is enough, so it works. Alright, so Miata also recommends cutting these tabs off because they hit the top of the tranny tunnel when you put it in the car.
Probably going to want to use a smaller cut-off wheel for this. Don't do that. Get another.
Alright, so after you drill the hole in the tranny / notch the tranny, it should look like this. It's a notch, alright. It should look like this. And you can take the adapter plate off. You can bolt it up to the back of the engine. You can either bolt the starter in now or wait till you put the tranny in, but we did it now. Recommend doing it now. So it should look something like this. So now you should be able to put your flywheel on, put your clutch on, put the tranny up, and mount it all up. But if you come back over here, you can tell something's missing here. Actually, a lot is missing here. Yeah, there's no clutch fork. I guess when Jacob bought this, it didn't come with a clutch fork, so. Alright guys, so that last clip you saw was a few days ago. We actually just got the parts in the mail that we needed for the transmission, the clutch fork, the pivot ball, and a few little things. So I'm gonna head to the shop right now and let's get this tranny in. Alright guys, so we got the clutch fork right here, the throwout bearing, the clutch fork spring. So we're just gonna lube everything right here that's metal on metal with some, normal wheel bearing grease, and we should be able to put the transmission up. So after you get the clutch fork in, if you didn't have one or you're putting a new one in, this is what it should look like right here. That spring just clips in from the top and the bottom.
Time to go in. Oh yeah.
Real minty. Alright, so you're going to want to torque the flywheel bolts to 75 foot-pounds. So when you torque these, you can take a pry bar, put it right here, put a bolt in the adapter plate right here, and hold the flywheel with the pry bar so it doesn't move. Alright, make sure you put your clutch
Flywheel
on the
side.
right side.
Important.
You're going to want to torque each one of these Allen bolts to 20 foot-pounds. 2-0. Before you start going gung-ho on the bolts, make sure this pops in and out pretty good. Nice and easy. When you go to torque these, do the same thing with the pry bar. Put it right here. Alright, so after you torque the clutch, make sure the alignment tool comes out and it'll go back in. If not, you'll have a really bad time putting the transmission in.
All right, so this is the adapter flange for your drive shaft. Right there. You're gonna have two options for output shaft flanges on your GETRAG 260. There's this bigger M12 bolt pattern, and then for my application, I'm using the smaller M10s. So you should have a total of 10 bolts. In my case, Miata actually didn't send me all 10. They only sent me 7. So I had to go source my own. They're M10 by 1.25. If that happens to you, that's your bolt size. So before you put your output shaft flange on, make sure you put your bolts in first, because they do not fit underneath once you got everything tightened down.
All right, so this is how your adapter plate mounts to the output flange right here. These bolts right here thread up into the adapter plate. All right, so on Miata's website, they actually say that some GETRAG transmissions, you have to grind down this pilot shaft to fit your drive shaft. About 2 millimeters you have to grind it down. But if you grab your drive shaft and you place it on your adapter plate right here, you can see if you're gonna have to grind it down or not. Thankfully in our case, you do not have to grind that down because it sits flush already. So just do that before you put your transmission in, or you'll have to grind it in the car. All right guys, so we got the tranny fully bolted to the back of the engine and the adapter plate, as you can see here. And it's getting kind of late right now, so tomorrow we're probably going to put the tranny brace on, or the tranny mount on, and get the drive shaft in. So I'll see you tomorrow. Hey guys, it's the next day. Me and Jacob are leaving work. We're about to head to the shop, get the tranny mounted up, get the drive shaft on, and get the shifter on. Little side note, in case anyone was wondering, me and Jacob actually work together. We are both automotive technicians at a Ford dealership, so just in case anyone was curious. So let's get to the shop. All right, so it's about that time. I'm gonna hold these. This is the back side on the inside of the car for the tranny tunnel and the tranny brace. I'm gonna put this up here and make sure each bolt gets through each hole and put a nut on each one. Alright, so we got the transmission mounted into the car, all the bolts tight, over here, these two up top, and we got the drive shaft in, as you can see, all the way back to here. Alright, so the last video you saw was us putting the drive shaft in and fully bolting it up. So we were gonna put the shifter in right here, the one that Miata gives you.
This one.
Yeah, right here. But the kit we had did not have the shifter bushing that goes in this plate. This one right here finally came in. So I guess Miata was actually running short on those bushings and was taking them out of some kits. So they just sent a kit to us without the bushing on accident. But we finally got it, and now we're gonna put the shifter in. All right, so when you install this shifter bushing, you're gonna wanna pay attention to these two tabs right here. There's one right here and one right here. Those two tabs line up with these notches right here in the shifter plate. So you're gonna wanna grease your shifter right here.
Give her a little oomph.
Get in there. Don't be afraid.
That's the right way.
Definitely make sure it's the right way. And make sure the tabs are lined up with the notches that I showed you.
Take her out to a nice
Flip it over.
date.
Give her a little and you'll hear it pop into place.
Bingo.
And just like that,
Look at that.
shifter is installed on the plate.
The Miata shifter plate bolts up to stock location. You just got to remove these 410 mils. Thread in your supplied Allen bolts. This, I guess, just kind of keep it out of the way as best as you can. It doesn't really fit on top of the plate like it should stock location, so just kind of keep it in the back. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. No play. Alright, enough of that. This is what it's gonna look like when it's all done. It's really nice.
Alright, so once you come down here, this is what you're gonna see. You gotta connect this shift linkage to the shifter. Now Miata supplies the pin, the C-clip / E-clip, and these two, what would you call these? I don't know. They go on the side of the shifter, I'll show you.
Just sit on.
Alright, so you're gonna wanna put this, like I was saying earlier, one on each side of here.
Oh, Jesus.
Like that. Alright, you're gonna wanna put this on here.
Goes on just like that.
Just like that. Not a problem. Then this pin. So that took way too long, but we did get the pin all the way through right here. Goes through right here. Comes out on this side right here. Now you're gonna wanna put this E-clip right here on this side.
So the easiest way for me to do this
Is to get some needle nose in here. And just like that. Now
She's done.
Now your E-clip is in place. And your shifter is completely bolted up. Alright guys, so we got the transmission in, the drive shaft in, the clutch, the flywheel, and the shifter in the car. So now you have a GETRAG swapped Miata.
Hallelujah!
Oh yeah, so that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now stick around for the next video because we're gonna be installing this stage 2 Fab 9 intercooler in the car. And I don't think there's any instructional videos on how to do that. So you're probably gonna wanna watch that one. So I will see you guys on the next one.
See ya.